and Sidhu,
Sir.
you
Shall
can
I
start.
Okay, sir. Good. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning to you all. I'm Sidhoji Rao on behalf of CDS and Officers Forum. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all the distinguished participants to the 13th SR Sankaran Memorial Lecture. In fact, I'm very much honored to be with you as I'm a beneficiary of kindness of late Sri SR Sankaran. Sir, CDS, in association with Officers Forum, have been organizing SR Sankaran Memorial Lecture since 2011, along with awards. The first lecture by Sri B.D. Sharma, IAS, on SR Sankaran, IAS, the man. And 12th SR Memorial Lecture by Professor Adapa Satyanarayana Garu on education and Dalit empowerment. We are going to have 2 SR Sankaran Memorial Awards. One is Lakshmi Venugopal Award from Sri K.R. Venugopal Garu, IAS. It is going to be given to Bhagya Lakshmi from Telangana. Second one is Lakshmi Madharao Garu Award given to Andhra student from Sri Kaki Madharao Garu. It is going to be given to Aishwarya from Anantapur. And today we are going to have a lecture which is very relevant, highly interesting, thought-provoking on probing democratic journey of India and Dr. Ambedkar's concluding remarks in the Constituent Assembly by renowned Professor Narender Kumar ji. He is from JNU. More importantly, we are going to hear about late Sri SR Sankaran from the experience of Sri Sampath Kumar IAS from Meghalaya Assam cadre, who is a very, very innovative, dynamic and dedicated administrator, and in fact is the All India 5th rank holder of civil service in 1997. Moreover, we have Sri Sudhir Babu IPS, Additional Commissioner of Police Traffic, Hyderabad, who is very efficient, talent and a dedicated police officer. In fact, he excelled as a police commissioner of Warangal. At the end, we are having Lakshmi Venugopal Awards and Lakshmi Madharao Awards will be presented. I would like to thank Sri Kaki Madharao Garu, Sri K.R. Venugopal Garu, especially Sri Malepalli Lakshmi Garu for organizing this lecture. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I think it's a very good combination today. The one senior professor is a very in-depth study of Dalits and social issues of the country. And then, rightly said, first lecture was B.D. Sharma, and second lecture by P.S. Krishnan. Topic is old and emerging challenges and facing the Dalits. Then, please, third lecture, Vimal Thorat, Women in India. Then fourth lecture, Dr. Rajshekhar Unru, Ambedkar's idea of representation. Fifth memorial lecture, Sri Vinod Pahadi, former MP, parliament member in Nepal, Constitution and Dalits. Then sixth lecture, Professor K.S. Chelam, Civil Servants' Role in Democracy and Development. Seventh memorial lecture, Sri Martin McQuan, Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Awardee, Director Dalit Shakti Kendra, Dalit Human Rights Activist. His topic is separate electorate a better option to caste-based political reservation? Eighth memorial lecture in 2018, Professor Vijay S. Kore, Head of the Department of Defense and Strategic Studies. Topic is Ambedkar Defense Policy of India. 9th Memorial Lecture by Professor Satish Deshpande, Casteism and Communalism, Friends or Enemies. 10th Memorial Lecture, Professor Perikala Keshav Kumar, Department of Philosophy, Delhi University. Indian Society and Ambedkar Perspective. 11th Memorial Lecture by C. Lakshman, SRC Lakshmanan, Political Science Department Associate Professor at MITS, Madras Institute of Development Studies, Baba Saheb Ambedkar Perspective on Democracy and Contemporary Relevance. 12th Memorial Lecture, our great scholar, Usmania University, very eminent professor, Professor Adapa Satyanarayana. His topic was education and Dalit empowerment. Now we are going to have a Narendra Kumar. We asked to have a lecture. He readily agreed. I thankful to him. Then another thing is very much interested to know about S.R. Shankaran life. He is very much associated with so many things, IIDS, Professor Thorat. Recently, they had one academicians, social science concerned people. That is also they are organized in Bangalore. I think this profile will be read by Siddhoj Rao. Have you? మీ దగ్గర ఉందా ప్రొఫైల్ సిద్ధోజ్ గారు?
ఉంది సిద్ధోజరావు గారి దగ్గర ఉంది.
అన్మ్యూట్
సిద్ధోజరావు గారు, కెన్ యూ ప్లీజ్ అన్మ్యూట్?
Please unmute.
Siddhoji, you have to unmute yourself.
పోస్ట్ చేశారు.
Share చేయండి.
He is reading.
Screen share చేయండి. Ramu,
అన్మ్యూట్ చేయండి సిద్ధోజీ గారు.
Yes.
Yeah, we got it.
please.
No.
Yes, sir.
Please brief profile of Professor Narender Kumar.
Yes, sir. Sir, ఒక్క నిమిషం సార్. సారీ. Sorry, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, Sri Narender Kumar is a professor and a chairperson at the Center for Political Studies, School of Social Sciences, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. And he early schooling from various villages and later one from the city of Panipat in Haryana. Bachelor's degree from Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. Master of Arts, Master of Philosophy, Doctorate from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Teaching and research experience as an assistant professor, associate professor, professor at Center for, at Central University, including University of Delhi, Jamia Millia in Islamia, New Delhi, Bhimarao Ambedkar University, and Jawaharlal Nehru University. Published 7 books, edited and authored with Christopher Jawaharlal and S.K. Thorat and others. Singularly, recent publication, Politics and Religion in India, 2019, Routledge, London and New Delhi. Second one, Ambedkar and Democracy, 2018, New Delhi, Oxford University Press. Other publication, research papers in national international journals, 7 papers in edited books, 5 book reviews, 7 articles in newspapers and magazines. Recent presentation and special lectures, 30 presentations. And academic administrative experience. Director, Center for the Study of Social Exclusion and Inclusive Policy, Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, Central University, Lucknow, 2011 to 2013. Head and Coordinator, Department of Political Science, Babasaheb Bhimrao Ambedkar, Central University, Lucknow, 2011 to 2013. Member, Fox Fellowship Selection Committee, Academic Council, JNU, New Delhi. Apex Body of Research, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India. Academic referee for Oxford University Press, Routledge, and others.
I think that should be fine, Siddhoji. That should be fine, I think.
Okay. He is the UGC Fellow, Indo-French Social Scientist Fellowship. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Siddhoji garu. Now we are move to lecture. Before that lecture, we have to brief inspiration and motivation of Sankaran about the Sankaran. I think Sudhir Babu garu and Sampath Kumar garu will say few words before the lecture. Now I invite to Sudhir Babu garu to have his opinion and his words about great our beloved leader and inspiration S.R. Sankaran garu. Sir, Sudhir Babu garu, please.
Sir, good morning to all, Madhuro sir, Sampath sir, Malappa Lakshmi garu, and all other dignitaries there over. It's indeed a great honor to me to speak on such a great outstanding civil servant of the country on his birth anniversary. Whatever the efforts he put in, all the savant efforts he has put in for people of all disadvantage, like SCs, STs, women, then all walks of life. Then whatever he has done, these are his heartfelt concerns for the deprived people. Neither it's rodomounted nor it is a kind of ephemeral. It is totally focused, and always he was focusing on the needs of the concerned people. That was the greatness. Wherever the problem is there, he used to really walk down to that area and used to attend and solve the problem. If you see the issues which he handled in Tripura for 6 years as Chief Secretary, where the problem was there, he used to be present over there. Such a great personality, then all efforts, he had faced so many hurdles also, but his determination could put him in a high pedestal. Never he depressed because of some kind of issues in the administration where he was asked to go on leave. He never, yes, he went on leave, but he went as Chief Secretary of Tripura. That was his greatness, and he served there for 6 years. And even now, it is a backward state in the country. We can imagine in 1980, early 80s or late 70s, when he went as Chief Secretary, the condition of people over there, all the plights of the people, which was the desideratum for a genuine lifestyle, a genuine life, civilized society. Those are things he was really doing it, and it's a great honor. In fact, to start it, how the personality is like. Recently, I read when he was posted as Chief Secretary, he landed in Agartala. Then people are not knowing him, so because of his attire and all, so he got on with a small bag. So people are expecting the Chief Secretary sir would come in a totally different perspective, different kind of attire and paraphernalia. So after getting down, he saw some people in uniform and all trying to identify some dignitary who's getting down that day from the flight, and then he simply walked down to Rikshapula, and he asked him that I would like to go to Circuit House. Then all the people are waiting around, and they were really disturbed that they could not locate and they could not receive the Chief Secretary, incumbent Chief Secretary. Then one of the constables who was posted over there, he saw that this gentleman is looking like a small time school teacher, then asking for a secret house. Then he had a doubt, this must be new chief secretary. Then went to his officer and told, someone is asking about secret house, you must be new chief secretary. So all officers came over, protocol concerned officers and all, they requested, sir, are you Mr. Sankaran sir? Then he said yes. Then they requested, sir, you please get into the carcade of chief secretary, new chief secretary. But he said, no, I've already spoke to this rickshaw puller. Then I have to pay him. Because of me, he lost opportunity of getting some other commuter. Then even after seeing such a great personality, even the person Shawal also become so committed. He said, "No, sir, you don't need to pay me full money because I'm not taking you to circuit house. I'll take only half money, half of the money which you promised to give me." That was things he used to spread around. Like when he's there, people used to be so civic conscious and responsive also. Then that was simplicity. Then they requested him to get into car and then went. Then he served there for 6 years in that place. So that is the contribution that is was he was presenting. Even then, Professor Aragopal sir also telling other day, like one of the videos I've seen. I think he was going somewhere. So someone is trying to cross the road. Then S.R. Sankaran sir got down and helped him to cross the road. After crossing the road, he asked about his well-being and all. How are you, types and how his children and all. Then he said, no, I'm very happy because of S.R. Sankaran sir. My children, my son had a very good education. Now he's settled down in a post. I come seldom to meet him. That's what you're telling. But that time also, S.R. Sankaran sir has not expressed that I am S.R. Sankaran. That is his greatness. His works are very much there with everyone, but he's always want to be invisible. His goodness is visible, is tangible, but he's always want to remain as a invisible helping hand for all of us. Like such a great personality, such a towering personality, and his efforts touch every aspect of disadvantaged people. I have a small presentation. I'll go through it quickly without taking much time of yours because a much better presentation would be there. So I'll start with this Professor Sankaran sir's you know him as a people's IS officer, and his achievements are also because of most vibrant IS officer of that time. Mother sir, with active support, he could achieve bigger goals because when you are doing such things, such officers have to be there. Like Sampath sir now doing it, Undu Rashekar doing in Haryana, Bhurti Rashekar sir doing in Andhra Pradesh and erstwhile, and then now in Andhra Pradesh. These are the officers who only done great job. It's very lucky to have to born in a state like Andhra Pradesh because we have seen great personalities, great civil servants like P.S. Krishna, Yugandhar sir, and S.R. Sankaran sir, K.R. Venugopal sir, Madhura sir, and Gopal Rao sir. These are the great personalities who born in our cadre. That is the greatness. This is what we have given to the country. Sankaran sir, you know all, he is born on 22nd of October 1934, and according to our cadre, on the base cadre, he served Krishna district and as joint initial training time. And then later on, he served in Adilabad and all these things you know. I don't want to go into those details because you know me much better than what I know in fact. But coming to his contribution for the civilian life, Sankaran sir, ideal civil servant with a pro-people approach, and then always proactive. Then it is not that while in service he has done it. Even his after superannuation also, he continued to do so almost 15, almost 19 years till he left us. That was his commitment for the society. In fact, he's totally he has got very little inclination to be to have that what we call any civil servant the comforts or a kind of luxuries he can have. Those things he pushed them to oblivion and never wanted to be in such kind of world. And he was always opted for simple life, which we discussed when he arrived at Agartala. Then coming to other aspects of his contribution, I try to get Sankaran sir's caricature from some of my readings, and this is what I want to show you. Then this is what TL Sankar IS's kind of comments really tell about Sankaran sir's personality. What he was telling, SR was a civil servant of a special kind. His reputation for efficiency, honesty, and genuine compassion for the weak and deprived came to be recognized in many quarters, including politicians and senior civil servants. This is what really aptly put it, and that's what we all remember him for his contributions. Then this is one of the greatest thing to see, like in 2005, government had awarded him with the Bharat Bhushan, Padma Bhushan, but still he is denied to gracefully. He said, "I've done my job." What the court was saying that he would take no award for doing something that was his duty. That was his stature. The Padma Bhushan, the highest, one of those highest awards, Padma Awards, in 2005. He didn't want to take this award, and that speaks volumes about his simplicity and dedication to his work. Coming to his major contributions, while in service and post-retirement, some areas which I know, which would like to put you to the group, like abolition of bonded labor. His contribution, abolition of bonded labor act in 1976. It's tremendous. He has seen the plight of the people, and he worked out on this. Same time, when that Harijan conference, and he fought to remove that particular word Harijan, and because of him, the efforts were there to make the scheduled caste the word which has been SC/STs and been in the official communications. Then, not only that, after the conference, I believe 127 GOs have been issued, and 100 GOs have been signed by Sankaran sir. All of them address the basic tenets of dignified life for the disadvantaged people. In that, after that, when he went to Delhi, 71 to 73, he was with Kumar Mangalam. That time, the national coal mine, nationalized coal mines. This is very, very important because those employees working over there are totally, they don't have any self-esteem, no dignity. They are working like as slaves. So to bring them out of such kind of situation, he wanted to go for nationalization of the mines so that government intervention and ameliorating their condition would be there so that they will get empowered. These are the things he's trying to focus, and he has done it for the tribals. I mean, for the labor of those areas. In the Integrated Tribal Development Agency, which we all think about, whatever the development is happening in our for the tribal areas like that. This is all because of ITDA. That was a brainchild of Sankaran sir. Then Land Distribution Act 1976, which is also one of the greatest contributions for the land distribution. And because of this, Land Ceiling Act also, then he ensured that many people get land allotted in their names. And then the special component plan, which we are talking about, the special component plan and tribal sub-plan for the exclusive budgetary allocations for our people, economic growth, and for enhancing the self-esteem and attending basic requirements of our concerns of our people. These are the things, special component plan and tribal sub-plan. These are the things which sir has given for us. Residential schools, which we have Andhra Pradesh social welfare residential schools. Now in Telangana also we have, and Andhra Pradesh is also continuing. So it's, that is what, because of his commitment on it has happened. Not only this, the admission to HPS, one of his known persons, a fourth class employee, when he wanted his son to be in a good school, I think Sankaran sir understood the need for this, and he come out with the kind of reservations in admissions in HPS, Hyderabad Public School. And we see many luminaries have come from the school, and they're serving the country, they become civil servants and become bigger personalities in society. These are things done by sir. And then sir was Chief Secretary of Tripura for 6 years. These are the things most tangent way he worked, and the benefits have been being experienced by all of us. Like after retirement, he is not stopped. Like a great all great officers in the card are now doing. Like after retirement, also sir continued his fight for the poor, sharing his pension with SC/ST students, like to meet their expenditures and all. And Safai Karmachari Andolan is one of the important areas where there was focused. Because of him, or let's say because of his planning and all, our beloved Bijawada Wilson got Magsaysay Award. That was his contribution to help everyone, not only one particular community, but even specific individuals also, depending on their hard work, talent, supported them. Then after that, a committee of the concerned citizen in 1997 started, which focused most of the turbulent times, violence of the different people. Like so, this helped him. The government asking him in 2004 to negotiate with the Naxalites and to solve the issues, so for disarming their themselves. Like that was a great initiative. Then government recognized, and he also played a greater role. And that food safety, food security perspective in 2003, Supreme Court also appointed sir to study, and one of the greatest contributions to human lives he has given is a constitution obligation to eliminate hunger and secure right to the food for the people. That's what he put forth this argument before Supreme Court. And we already discussed how 27 US been issued in 1 year, and which 100 were being signed by him straight. Other aspects, this is the statue for of a civil servant, which is there in our office at Tribal Welfare Office, and even in Karamchedu issue also, he formed, evolved a new concept, a new Vijaya Nagar, a small area was created, and kind of colonies come up, so that people who suffered in those areas also gain some shelter to stay over there. These are the two busts there in Vijayawada and in Hyderabad also we have, in memory of such great personality. Then, sir, another important area where he moved by the women manually cleaning excreta with her bare hands. Then he moved by this, and he went to, he wrote devo letters to 600 collectors in the country. And it was told like he was so hurried to reach out to the people, where he didn't want to paste it also, he had a staple, so that it will be cheaper to reach out to them. That was his contribution to the people. Then, sir, it's we discussed about obstacles he faced. One of the chief ministers asked to go on leave, not given a kind of posting. So he went to Tripura to serve the people who really deserve in this thing. So all the hostilities he faced, and he could come out very strong because of dedication, which is a genuinely concerns for the people, which is not rodomounted, or which is not ephemeral also, which is long time good for the society has been doing it. Then, sir, simplicity at peak, which I discussed when sir landed in Agartala when he was asked to take over the chief secretary. Then his impact is there in Indian administration, and we have to take it on further, reach out to the more deserving, deprived people. I have a small video to show Sankaran sir on his birthday. Still with us, so it is his birth anniversary still, but we think he's alive, and we can see him on screen, unveiling statue of Baba Sahib. This is what I felt we should really see, sir, his contribution for our community, for every deprived labor, women, SC, ST, everyone. I really thank for giving this opportunity. It's an honor to me. Thank you, sir, Madharo sir, then Mallape Lakshmi Garu, Siddhoji, who was instrumental. He was calling me and asking me, you must present this. I was apprehensive whether I can do it or not, but he was always after me to do this job. Then Professor Narender Garu, I could not meet you in JNU, but still is the first opportunity
Okay.
to meet you. And Sampath sir, who is very inspiring personality for me, and we worked at different places together. The sir called me just now. Are you same thing, Sudhir, participating in this? I said, sir, I'm only. Rahul and all, I was very young and we have played with him, Sampath sir and all. It's a great homecoming actually. After a long time, I'm meeting so many people who really have a same kind of feelings, and which you are sharing on this day of birth anniversary of Sri Sankaran sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Your concerned and inspiring words about the great Shankaran Garu. I think
Thank you.
it's a
Thank you from me also, Sudhir. You have got a great presentation.
this kind of concern and unity should go further and further. Now I am inviting Sampath Kumar Garu. Before that, Siddhoji Rao will say few words.
So thank you, sir. Sampath Gar, I'm really honored to introduce you, sir. I'm really, you are an inspiration to all of us. Sampath Kumar IAS, Principal Secretary and Development Commissioner to the Government of Meghalaya. That means Health and Family Welfare, Social Welfare and Women.
Hello.
Sri Sampath Kumar is the third IAS officer, All India 5th rank in 1997 from the undivided Andhra Pradesh after Sri Jayaprakash Narayan Garu and Dr. Sri D. Subbarao Garu in 1972. He has the distinction of working in all parts of the country, especially Assam, Meghalaya, AP and UP. He has designed and implemented innovative and scalable policy solution for poverty reduction, women empowerment, rural development, climate change, public health, and participatory governance. He brought about the first of its kind Community Participation and Social Audit Act in Meghalaya. He played an instrumental role in introducing self-help group-based poverty reduction model to the national level while working with the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation. More recently, he set up the first of its kind Government Innovation Lab in Meghalaya to strengthen state capacity through successfully tackling complex development challenges, including reducing maternal deaths and improving the nutritional indicators of the indigenous tribal population. He has commissioned and supported several evaluations and research projects of various government and NGO-led development interventions. Sri Sampath Kumar Garu is an Edward S. Mason Fellow at Harvard Kennedy School of Government. He holds a Master's in Public Administration from Harvard University and a Bachelor's in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Usmania University. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
Please go, Sampath Kumar Garu.
Yeah, thank you, Lakshmi Garu and Siddhoji Garu, and also my deep respects to Madhav Rao sir and all the seniors and Professor Narender Kumar, and my dear colleague Mr. Sudhir, who has given a very, very inspiring speech, because I also learned a lot about S.R. Shankaran Garu through your words. So thank you for this opportunity, because again it's like a reconnecting with the ideology with which actually we all have been grown. I just wanted to introduce myself, especially while introducing S.R. Shankaran Garu. I'll introduce myself like an Ekalavya. So why I say Ekalavya? Because I was in fact, I was very fortunate, to get the benefit of, being born in erstwhile AP. I would say, this particular because why I say it has given such an opportunities for me. When I was young boy, I was introduced to this AP residential school exam, and then it was for rural bright children, and I got into this AP residential schools in Upper Sealeru. I joined in 1980, my 5th grade in AP residential school in Upper Sealeru, with the thick forests and with the man-eaters, tigers, and all that. So we lived there, and it was my first batch. It started with the first batch, and all these officers actually were behind this entire effort. I think that is a phenomenal for me journey for me after passing the 10th grade as a again. By the time I got into the 10th, in fact, the Naxal movement has, really captured that school. So some of my friends actually joined the Naxal movement, but I chose to, get into, a passion. So I came to Hyderabad, and there I studied, and then I was drawn to different, as a young student, I used to see Madhav Rao sir becoming chief secretary, and so a lot of things, and Raju sir, and doing this anti-Iraq movement in Ellore. So I always that's why I called myself as Ekalavya, because I was just like observing and basically trying to absorb whatever that inspiration that that these officers have given to us. And when I, in fact, I have a very good friend, R.S. Praveen Kumar. In fact, he's again, we prepared together for the exam, and he provided a great guidance for me. And then when I got All India 5 in 97, and when I went to the academy, there, in fact, I met S.R. Shankaran sir first time. He came. And what he said to me was that, Sampath, I've come here to see you because this is what I really wanted, that every person from the disadvantaged communities to come up. This is what so I really touched by his words, and I still, very memorably, I keep the photo that with him. And I also actually was, in fact, I was actually, as I said, I also have got a great guidance in my initial career. Raju sir was a great, my mentor, in fact, I would say. And Vijay Kumar sir, all these people, Rajshekhar sir, all these people were deeply, deeply influenced by S.R. Shankaran sir. So and then I started working, I went to Assam, Meghalaya. There again, I could have actually, many people said that, you're an all India ranker. So, okay, you can actually go to court to get into the, home cadre. But again, the spirit of, again, S.R. Shankaran Garu and sir, and also Raju sir and all, they said, I think it's a God's, opportunity. Maybe I think there is a reason for you. There is a purpose that, you are going there. So I didn't, ask for any, going back to the home state. And in fact, I gave a no objection to my batchmate who was next to me to apply for AP cadre, and he got the AP cadre later, like Mr. Shamal Rao, who's again a Bahujan who actually, who has joined the AP cadre at later point of a time. So what I wanted to say is that there is a deep influence of S.R. Shankaran Garu. And in fact, when I was, I worked for a 3-year period in, Andhra Pradesh, especially during the initial period on the poverty reduction projects. In fact, again, Yugandhar Garu and all this, they were Raju sir and Vijay Kumar sir, and all these people were behind this. And then I was there. I got my first immersion in Mahbub Nagar. With in Gattu Mandal with Rajshekhar sir again. So what I'm saying, why I'm saying these things, there is a deep influence of all these mentors, who actually have, imbibed a kind of a different kind of a culture, of public service, and then, how actually to really reach out to the poor and poorest of the poor, how actually, our purpose is such an important thing. So this helped me a lot, and we did a lot of experiments when I was in Delhi. And then thereafter, and from there, when I went back to Meghalaya, I wanted to Assam, Meghalaya. I supposed to go to Assam, but there was a huge unrest was going on in Meghalaya between two tribal regions, and there were 11 students were killed in a police firing, and there was the one part of the Meghalaya, the tribal region, Garo Hills region, was burning. And then I volunteered to go there, and met about 40 people with bullet injuries. And I went there, and in a 2-month span, I restored peace. And, and I used to go like S.R. Sankaran garu, that courage and inspiration, to the interior places where even the militant organizations, were very present. And we could able to do that when it only with one purpose. If we are working for the people, in fact, nobody would do anything, they were act. So with that spirit, we did, we restored peace. In fact, Mr. P.S. Sangma, who actually, that time he said like, separate statehood is required for that particular region. After 1 year of my tenure there, he said like separate state is not the solution, it is the development. So we created a different, we used especially the community mobilization and community development to solve some of these, crises, and especially the conflicts between different groups. So that was my, and when I was working there, I was invited by, in fact, Mr. Jairam Ramesh, that like, the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation is looking for an officer. So they are interviewing a lot of IAS officers, and, they wanted an officer to work with them, especially with Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So they invited me there. And then actually, in fact, after that, like, I joined Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, worked there for about 7 years in the remotest parts. I would say I worked in 336 blocks of Uttar Pradesh, covering almost like, I would say, a size of Telangana state, looking at very deeply organizing the poorest of the poor, and, how to actually break the caste barriers, how to break the gender barriers. So a lot of work that we did, again, with the, the inspiration that actually what we have from these officers. And that's something that I wanted to say. What actually I tried to do was that, like, again, how to bring that entire, the leadership, the political leadership to be sensitized about the issues of the poor and poverty, and how actually. So I used to take the Mr. Bill Gates to, different, the top, like, with the chief economic advisors to who is who, and the chief ministers and everybody, to the field visits. And I used to take them to the remotest parts and show them, like, how actually, if you invest in the, organizing the poor, how actually we can see the difference. In fact, one of the K.R. Venugopal sir actually is his colleague, like Mr. Shoaib Sultan Khan. He was from Pakistan. He used to visit almost like every year to me. And again, he's again a great inspiration. All this, actually, what I wanted to say is that when we was working there, one of the things that has been striking, and in fact, Mr. Jairam Ramesh, and, in fact, the UPA, the leadership, they used to ask one very interesting thing: why the the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, now, like, why, how come actually different kind of officers come from this particular one single state? So this is, I think, this contribution goes, to a large extent. I would say that's what I would say. The kind of role models that what we have in Andhra Pradesh, and S.R. Sankaran garu undoubtedly played, I think, a significant role. I think this is where, when I say now, when there is a problem with the public administration, there is a purpose is missing, and the people say that, I say that you require a good role models. In fact, I wanted to give you a very latest example. Like a month ago, in a state assembly, there is one an MLA was actually making a statement saying that the state is governed by Kumars. So we are about 4 or 5 of them, all are from Telugu states. So then, of course, then it has to be, of course, we had to say that it's not that we are actually proactively working. Basically, the way S.R. Sankaran garu took up the role of removing the bonded labor. So we have developed a different kind of a culture. It is not that just simply following the rules and implementing programs. It's much more than that. What is the purpose of what we are doing? Why we have come? What is our role? I think taking that larger purpose and the role as a public servant is a key thing that we learned from S.R. Sankaran garu. I think that's what I would like to say today. And I'm really, honored and, to say these few words before you. And thank you, Lakshmi garu. I think you are a great inspiration, and great journalist. And, thank you so much. And thank you all. I think that's briefly about S.R. Sankaran garu and his influence on me, and, and various officers like me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sampath garu. Your, I think you experienced your your experience speech, I think it's not a just academic, just not anything. As you consumed our history, our experience. Thank you very much. Very good, inspiring words. Now we are moving to.
Sampath, were you invited to Maswari Academy for giving a lecture?
Yes, sir. I go every year, sir.
Okay.
Especially for rural development and health. In fact, I have been going, especially Mr. Amarjit Sinha, when he was the RD secretary. He may, in fact, they keep inviting me. So in fact, I was supposed to join there also, but I couldn't go, sir.
I'm glad the Academy has recognized your work. I'm so happy to hear that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Madhavan. Now we are moving to today's important event lecture of Narendra Kumar Garu. I think we are very fortunate now he is with us. He is very much not only academic, his experience in his contribution also is more democracy. Now he will speak on probing democratic journey of India and Dr. Ambedkar's concluding remarks in the Constituent Assembly. I think it's a very unique and insight things now we are going to listen. I welcome to Narendra Kumar Garu. Please join with us.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks to everyone being here. Sri Sampath Kumar, Sri Sudhir Babu, my friend Dr. Siddhoji Rao, and Sri Madhav Raoji, and all others distinguished participants for this lecture. Let me thank the Center for Dalit Studies, especially Dr. M. Lakshmaya Garu, for inviting me to deliver this very important annual lecture in the name of S.R. Sankaran, who has been an activist administrator. I happen to heard a lot about him and his passion to guide and help in many ways to the marginalized sections of the society during my student days in JNU during 1990s. The journey, the democratic journey of India has been a mixture of both accomplishments and deficits. If we look only one side of the coin, then the picture might be either positive or negative. But as an academic, the analysis cannot and should not be either this way or that way. It is in this light that I would like to evaluate such a long journey of 7 decades. In this lecture, I shall first discuss about the takeaways from the concluding remarks of Dr. Ambedkar in the Constituent Assembly, and then venture into the democratic journey that India undertook in the last 7 decades. And finally, where do we stand today with some personal observations. When we look at the concluding remarks of Ambedkar in the Constituent Assembly, then generally this is the most quoted quotation, which is on 26th January 1950, we are going to enter into a life of contradictions. In politics, we will be recognize the principle of one man, one vote, and one vote, one value. In our social and economic life, we shall by reason of our social and economic structure continue to deny the principle of one man, one value. How long shall we continue to live this life of contradictions? How long shall we continue to deny equality in our social and economic life? And from here onwards, when we see that these are not the only words which Dr. Ambedkar mentions during the concluding remarks, but there are few other significant observations of him which are equally important and relevant to understand and evaluate the journey of these 7 decades. The most important thing I would say is what Dr. Ambedkar said, is that this constitution belongs to the future generations and not to the dead ones. And then he went on to say that the nation is in the making in case of India. Because during those times, Ambedkar had no qualms in accepting that India was not a nation, even after its independence, but also would not be so soon after the adoption of the constitution. He said, I quote, "I am of the opinion that in believing that we are a nation, we are cherishing a great delusion," unquote. He was insistent upon using the people of India instead of Indian nation in the constitution. And that's where we find that instead of Indian nation, we have the people of India. Then second one is the democracy, not merely political, but social as well. For him, political democracy cannot last unless there lies at the base of it social democracy. Third, role of political parties and particularism. Political parties are essential part of democracies across the world. And I would quote him again, "Political parties represent different creeds. However, if the parties place creed over country, our independence will be put in jeopardy," unquote. Next one, the landslide victory of a political party dangers to the democracy. As parties are part and parcel of democratic process, nevertheless, Ambedkar was worried about the way political parties and its leaders might behave in independent India. I quote him again, "It is quite possible for this newborn democracy to retain its form, but give place to dictatorship. In fact, if this is a landslide, the danger of the second possibility becoming actuality is much greater." And for landslide, he meant the landslide victory of a particular party. And as you know, in the first three elections, general elections, it was a particular political party which was getting more than 70 seats. Then another aspect that he touched upon is danger of bhakti in politics versus bhakti in the religion. I quote him again, "Bhakti in religion may be a road to salvation of the soul, but in politics, bhakti or hero worship is a sure road to degradation and to eventual dictatorship." And finally, two major things that come from his concluding remarks are that the independence brings a lot of responsibility, and now we will not be having someone else to blame, rather we have to blame ourselves. And the next one is wherein he talks about that the parliament kind of institution and democracy are not new to India, but these were very much available in ancient India. And that's where I would like to quote again, "It is not that India did not know parliaments or parliamentary procedure. A study of Buddhist Bhikkhu Sanghas discloses that not only there were parliaments, for the Sanghas were nothing but parliaments, but the Sanghas knew and observed all the rules of parliamentary procedure known to modern times. They had rules regarding sitting arrangement, rules regarding motions, resolutions, quorum, whip, counting of votes, voting by ballot, censor motion, regularization, etc." Unquote. Before that, I would like to bring to your notice how Ambedkar looked at the democracy. Democracy, Ambedkar defined, is a form and method of government whereby revolutionary changes in the economic life and social life of the people are brought without bloodshed. Unquote. Thus, Ambedkar looked at democracy with a much larger purpose, wherein Those who represent the masses attempt to bring fundamental changes not only in the political sphere but also in the social and economic lives without resorting to bloodshed, as the people of different states and status accept such changes. He might have referred to absence of bloodshed despite fundamental changes as basic transformation in the economic sphere was preceded by bloodshed in other countries, where communism was introduced in the first half of 20th century. He opined that this is not only the test of the people, but also the test of the democracy itself to bring such radical changes without bloodshed. Another quotation is, "A democracy is more than a form of government. The roots of democracy are not in the form of government, parliamentary or otherwise. It is primarily a mode of associated living. The roots of democracy are to be searched in social relationships, in terms of associated life between the people who form a society." And I'm reminded of his 1919 intervention through South Bureau, wherein he said that how the untouchables were different from the touchables in Indian society, and that's where he argued for a kind of special representation for the untouchables. In short, Ambedkar did talk about taking democracy from procedural to substantive democracy. That has been discussed by many political scientists afterwards, that is, after him. Now, India's democratic journey. If we look at the India's democratic journey, then we can divide it in different phases. First phase was the nation building phase, that is from 1950 to 1971, wherein there was a sentiment of nation building. And this sentiment was also for the institution building, wherein there were creation of IITs, UGC, many other organizations like Planning Commission, etc. Then nationalization of bank was also one of the major contributions of this particular phase. Then the legislations against untouchability offenses, which was in 1955, women's property rights and civil rights, 1956 onwards, and land reforms also have been part of this phase. Then the second phase we see is the class conscious or churning phase of 1971 to 85. Herein emerges the peasants' movements, labor movements, and similarly many other kinds of movements. Then programs against poverty alleviation, that was 20-point program, which was introduced in 1971. Herein, what we see is that instead of the traditional kind of communities being represented in the politics, the dominant castes and class visibility comes in. And this period also had a major, let's say, emergency, and this emergency was most visible on anti-democratic chapter that we'll discuss in details a little later. Then the third one was the identity assertion phase, 85 to 91. Herein, there was a Dalit Bahujan assertion by different communities in different parts of the country. And certainly there was other backward classes assertion as well, wherein during this period, the Mandal report was implemented. And also there was a demand for women reservation in legislatures. That's why this phase has been termed as the identity assertion phase. Then the fourth phase is the liberalization, privatization, and globalization phase. This phase, 1991 to 2004 in particular, is for reviving economy and also the privatizing the public sector. And this is the period wherein a major overhauling of the economy, politics, and society takes place. This is a completely different phase from the previous phase wherein we were actually struggling with different kinds of, let's say, internal issues of the country, but herein comes in the globalization, and that makes a major difference to the economy of the country. Then the last phase that we see is the phase back to traditions phase, or which I call traditionalization of half-baked modernity, which is from 2004 onwards. Herein, we see that a particular kind of ideology captures the Indian state, and then there is also a kind of a revival of traditional cultural ethos against the scientific temperament of the constitution. On the other hand, there is also institutional decay. There is loss of parliamentary interventions. As a student of political science, I understand that the parliamentary interventions as it used to be prior to this period, those interventions are not available. And this intervention is actually decaying in the last 2 decades in particular. And another important aspect of this phase is that there is an increasing number of MPs who come with lot of, let's say, money as well as muscle power. So when we look at this phase, then we see that around a majority, 40% of the people in the parliament, that is MPs, are coming with some kind of criminal background, and 25% of them have a very serious charges of, let's say, murder, attempt to murder, rape, etc., etc. Now, when we look at the democracy today, then how do we look at the democracy? Where do we stand as a democracy today? If we look at the way Ambedkar understood the democracy. Now, the elections are held regularly. Leaders resign if they lose elections. More women leaders are there in the legislatures, more so in the local bodies. Legislatures carry on their functions autonomously. On the other hand, more affluent get elected, more legislatures with, as I told, with criminal background pose major threat to the democracy. Currently, 88% MPs are millionaires, and more of them are billionaires in Rajya Sabha. And now, when we look at these statistics, with these statistics, the world over, there are various organizations that measure the functioning of democracies all over the world. Those are primarily based in Western world, and those measure the status of different democracies with their own yardsticks. I am reminded of the Western scholars being apprehensive of even success of procedural democracy in the country like India in 1950s and 60s, with the diversities and graded inequality. However, they proved wrong, as India's procedural democracy survived more than 7 decades now. Nevertheless, we cannot be satisfied with only the coated layer of democracy in Ambedkar's views, which is procedural. We need to look at how some of the reputed international organizations look at India on different parameters in the present times. Freedom House, which is one of the such organizations, uses 3 parameters of free, partly free, and not free nations. And in the last decade, it has downgraded India from free to partly free status. The VDEM project of University of Gothenburg in Sweden has relegated India to electoral autocracy, which I think Ambedkar has been talking about this issue. India has fallen from 27 to 46 in the last decade as per the Economist Intelligence Unit's Democracy Index. The Pew Research Center in US surveys show that India's social hostility score has worsened over the years. Social hostility is in terms of community and caste in particular. India's rank in the United Nations Human Development Index has also fallen, though it's not significant. It is from 130 to 132. The International Food Policy Research Institute's World Hunger Index shows India ranked at 107 out of 121 surveyed countries. So one can understand that despite having so much of progress, despite having green revolution, despite having, let's say, technological advancements, the country is still facing a world, facing hunger, which is of a worse kind. Though we have been doing a lot for women, but as per world level status, the World Economic Forum's Gender Gap Index shows India ranked as 135th of the 146 surveyed countries. And Thomson Reuters Foundation calls India among the most dangerous country for women, which certainly is worrisome given the aspiration to become a developed nation. Although all these organizations are drawn from different countries and dominated by West, they use different methodologies and are not ideologically aligned, rather present these reports as institutions concerned with human lives, with obvious orientation of criticism if required. Such rankings may be termed as arbitrary and subjective, and indeed be suffering from some fundamental or methodological issues. However, as a nation, we cannot be proud of this kind of report card. If we take it as merely criticism, then we may not move forward. But if we do take it with a pinch of salt and conviction, then it might be helpful in the longer run. Now, taking the kind of issues Dr. Ambedkar raised, one was the nation in building. Though Ambedkar focused on caste as anti-nationals, one, because they bring about separation in social life, and secondly, they generate jealousy and antipathy between caste and caste. All those difficulties which put limitations must be overcome if we wish to become a nation in reality, in his understanding. Fraternity can be a fact only after becoming a nation. So you see that how Dr. Ambedkar understands fraternity. He says that fraternity can only be a fact only when we become nation. But we were struggling to become a nation in 1950s. He argued, I would quote, without fraternity, equality and liberty will be no deeper than coats of paint, unquote. We have become a nation despite challenges posed by some regions in the Northeast and other tribal areas and extreme north. However, we need to be alert against creating new challenges which may be represented in different forms, including regional disparities. I would like to give one example. Upcoming delimitation of constituencies is one of such challenges. The delimitation of constituencies is a routine exercise. However, the incoming delimitation is posing a major threat of drastic reduction of members of parliament seats for southern states, and the region known as Cow Belt will increase its seats due to increase in the population. North India has been dominating the politics of the country. Will it further shrink the say of southern Indian states is a big question. This has been apprehended even by those at the highest levels of governance as well. Second, democracy not merely political but social as well. Ambedkar was not satisfied with democracy only in political institutions, rather argued we must make our political democracy a social democracy as well. And then he talks about this trinity, that is liberty, equality, and fraternity. Then he says that we need to convert political power from few to many. And that's where I think his understanding becomes very, very significant. Ambedkar knew that converting political power from few to many is a challenging task in India. Long wait for OBC, for which Dr. Ambedkar had resigned in 1951 as Law Minister. Two major issues were there. One was the Hindu Code Bill for women, and another was the Constitution of Backward Class Commission. Has political power converted from few to many over a period of time. If we look at the diversity of progress among the social groups, then the picture may not be too bad. As the size of middle class has increased, political power is shared by different social groups, but in disproportionate manner. The number of OBC groups in power sharing has increased substantially. But what about the control of power? That has still largely remained in the few hands represented by traditional social elites. The democracy over the last 7 decades has converted these castes into some groups to some extent as scheduled caste, many hundred castes, other backward classes around 2,500 castes. This comprises of around 75% of the total population and 85% of the so-called Hindu population. The stringent caste divide is loosening to a great extent. Two phases of backlash after the identity assertion needs to be mentioned here. One is the strengthening of private property through liberalization, privatization, and globalization. And the second, strengthening of regressive traditions and customs through landslide victory in the post, let's say, 2000 period. Now, one of the report of Oxfam India, again, I would like to quote here. It says that the top 10% of Indian population holds 77% of the total national wealth. And 73% of the wealth generated in 2017 went to the richest 1% only. While 670 million Indians who comprise the poorest half of the population saw only an increase of 1% in their wealth. So you see that what is the kind of diversity and difference that we have in terms of wealth. In the last 2 decades, the number of billionaires in India has gone from 9 to 100. Excuse me, can I request others to mute? There is a lot of disturbance coming. Sorry.
Please continue. Please continue.
Yeah. In the last 2 decades, the number of billionaires in India has gone from 9 to 190. Between 2018 and 2022, India is estimated to have produced 70 new millionaires every day. This could be a good news for the individuals, but not to the society, and definitely not for the nation as per the Ambedkar's understanding. Now, another kind of statistics that I would like to bring before your notice. It would take 941 years for a minimum wage earner in rural India to earn what the top paid executive at a leading Indian government company earns in a year. So you see that what kind of diversity, the disparity, in fact, not diversity, the disparity that we have got in the last many years, particularly in the last 20 years or so. Next, role of political parties and patriotism. There has been an evolution of party system in India in 3 phases. From one party dominance in the initial post-independence years, there emerged a multi-party system, and again we are witnessing a single party dominance at the center. However, we need to understand that there are still contestations and some kind of multi-party system in some of the states. There are paradoxes and contradictions presented here as well, as there exists ideological hegemony of a party at the center, and also fierce contestation in few states. However, there is a decline of parties as organizations, which is known as lack of internal democracy among the political parties and increasing centralization. Interestingly, there is increasing representation of the marginalized sections in the electoral politics. And when we look at the distribution of resources, then there is certainly a worrisome situation. Of late, particularistic political interests are being articulated as cultural nationalism, and it is being misunderstood with patriotism. This is creating a lot of confusion among the citizens, both about nationalism and patriotism, as per the understanding of Ambedkar. The misunderstood nationalism is also not letting the institutions of democracy function independently. It is further complicating the matter. Another aspect was the landslide victory of political party might lead to democracy in form, but dictatorship in fact. Congress dominance from nation building to emergency due to thought of losing power. Actually, what happened is, as you know, that in 1971 there was a thumping majority with the Congress, and in 1975 there was a emergency imposed, and we see that what happened during the emergency. And similarly, now we see that there is a domination of a particular political party, and there is certainly a widening electoral base, but there is a decay of institutions of different varieties. And also there is a very serious damage which is happening to the fourth pillar of the democracy, which is the media. We'll discuss about this in a later detail later on. Now, when we look at this landslide victory, which Dr. Ambedkar was very apprehensive, then I would like to divide it in a way wherein we say that there is a Majboot versus Majboor Sarkar, which is strong versus constrained government. When we look at in the initial phase of post-independence period, then what we see is that there was a landslide wherein 70% seats went to a particular party. And in the first phase, there was a kind of sentiment of nation building, but the leadership was also aware of adhering to the democratic ethos, because the nation was a newly a democracy. Then when we look at the Majboot Sarkar, which is 1971 to 1976, it imposes emergency and takes away fundamental rights of the citizens, reducing powers of the legislature and judiciary through 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. But the Majboor Sarkar, which was the Janata Party government in 1977, restores democratic process by introducing 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, and also brings in legislations like Protection of Civil Rights Act for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Similarly, the Majboor Sarkar of Janata Dal in 1989 implemented the Mandal Commission report that was gathering dust for more than a decade. And the Majboot Sarkar of Indira Gandhi or Rajiv Gandhi did not dare to implement it. The Majboor Sarkar again in 2004 and 2009, which was a Congress-led government, brought in various social legislations. I would please mind that this is a Majboor Sarkar. And this government comes out with a lot of social legislations, including RTI, Manrega, that is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program, and also the Prevention of Atrocities Act, which there were amendments to the this act as well. Then again, when we see the Majboot Sarkar since 2014 has been producing mixed kind of outcomes, but the democratic process institutions are alleged to getting hampered, as it has been called to be a period of undeclared democracy by some critics. Critics might have their own offering and differing views. However, the international agencies evaluating democracies tell and otherwise stories. Another aspect which is danger of bhakti in politics, which Dr. Ambedkar was talking in the Constituent Assembly in the concluding remarks, quoting one of the greatest democrats of modern times, John Stuart Mill, Dr. Ambedkar said that we should not to lay the liberties at the feet of even a great man, or to trust him with powers which enable him to subvert their institutions. Unquote. Bhakti, or what may be called the path of devotion, or let's say hero worship, plays a very important role in India, unequaled in magnitude by other parts of the country, of the world. Bhakti in religion may be road to salvation of the soul, but bhakti in politics, bhakti or hero worship, is a sure road to degradation and eventual dictatorship, was Dr. Ambedkar's understanding. The above mentioned reports regarding the decay in various fields confirms to the undermining of institutions of governance and the fourth pillar of democracy, that is media. And in Hindi, it is now being termed as Godi media, that is the media sitting on the lap of the ruling elites. Interestingly, the danger of bhakti in politics exists not merely among the national political parties, but also among the states. And there is no ambivalence about that fact. Here again, the paradox is, can parties survive without the element of what Ambedkar called as bhakti in politics in the world of realpolitik? One needs to make the observation that a country constructing more religious places than educational institutions might be revolving around the dangers of bhakti in politics and not other way around. One can say with confirmation that the present time in Indian politics is definitely facing the danger of bhakti, and these are at different levels of governance against which Ambedkar had warned. I would quote Irish patriot Daniel, who said, and who has been quoted by Ambedkar as well. He says, "No man can be grateful at the cost of his honor, no woman can be grateful at the cost of her chastity, and no nation can be grateful at the cost of its liberty." Unquote. Now, what has been happening is that the constitution is being upheld, but there has been a declining constitutional morality. The constitution has been surviving despite onslaughts, and these onslaughts have been coming time and again in the last 7 decades. The citizens, political parties in opposition, and even the judiciary invokes constitution these days whenever they see a major threat to its existence. The way constitutional morality should have been strengthened in the last 7 decades has not been accomplished. This constitutional morality emphasizes the elements like respect for plurality, self-restraint, some skepticism about authoritative claims to popular sovereignty, an open culture of criticism, etc. This was not confined to the elements of government, but also to other involved in the whole nation building process. Now, actually, when Dr. Ambedkar was talking about liberty, equality, and fraternity, you know very well that he was very categorical in saying that he did not take this from the French Revolution, but he took it from Buddha. And he also was very apprehensive that whether the liberty which has been possible after 1947 and equality would be possible, and it will lead to the fraternity. And herein, what we see is that from liberty, we were to lead towards equality and further to the fraternity. However, we have not yet accomplished the journey towards equality as envisaged by Ambedkar. And if we have not actually completed the journey towards equality, then how can we think of the fraternity which Ambedkar wanted, that this is what will survive the democracy in the longer run. In the concluding remarks, I would say that there has certainly been a progress in various fields in the Republican India, but there remains a lot to be accomplished as per the understanding of Ambedkar. One needs to point out that he resigned as law minister because the Hindu Code Bill and setting up of backward class commission, etc., could not be done within 1.5 years after the constitution coming into being. How fast he would have expected the objectives to be achieved through constitutional means needs no elaboration. He would have certainly been completely unhappy or maybe devastated with the slow progress of events in favor of common citizens of the country and for the marginalized both socially and economically in particular. With this, I thank all of you for your patient hearing, and thank you very much for inviting me to deliver this very important lecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Narendra Kumar garu. Thank you very much. We gave a trouble to have this. I think because of these elections and all those things, bound to be due in June. Otherwise, we can have a physical meeting also. Okay, anyway, your understanding and contribution about democracy is very, very strengthen our ideas. Now we are going to the final thing to these scholarship awardees.
Lakshmi garu, can I have a word before you go to that?
Sir, I'm going to come to you, sir.
Right.
Please.
Right.
Please, sir.
Yeah. Professor Kumar, I am happy to see you, sort of hear you. We are honored that we have a scholar like us among the Dalits. And I feel bad that I have not been in touch with you all these days. I would like to be in correspondence with you. I would like to have a copy of your speech, which is so analytical, reflecting Baba Saheb literally in every development that has been taking place now, which he visualized long ago. So I'm happy to sort of knowing you, and I'll be in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We met actually last month in Hyderabad when I was there for,
So National Dalit Summit, Narendra Kumar.
Wow, okay. That day I was having a severe sciatica pain. I ran away from
Yes, I remember.
You heard me that day?
Yes, sir. Yes, I did hear.
Okay,
I did hear you. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Then I'll continue to be in touch.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Narendra Kumar garu. Now I'm inviting Ramu and Siddhoji. They will say few words. These scholarship awardees. Then our request is Sampath Kumar should formally announce of the graduate of Rantapur. And I request my brother and friend Sudhir Babu announce of these Bhagyalakshmi to come. I think Ram will say about the Bhagyalakshmi, about Bhagyalakshmi. Then afterwards, Sudhir Babu will announce. Then second thing is Siddhoji Rao will announce, will say some few words about Aishwarya. Then Sampath Kumar will formally announce. Thank you. Ramu.
It's a great honor to be among these very well-known scholars and IAS officers, IPS officers, and professors. I'm here to present, let you know about this Lakshmi Venugopal Award we are presenting every year of this on the occasion of S.R. Sankaran Memorial Lecture. We have started giving this award since 2015, and this award is given to a girl who is studied from social welfare hostels of Telangana state and topped among all the girls during that academic year. We are presenting her with a 10,000 rupees of cash award, which might inspire her for her future studies. And we will be giving an appreciation certificate in the name of her with the Center for Dalit Studies stamp and signature of chairperson and other dignitaries. So this year we are presenting this award to Kumari Bhagyalakshmi, Jilla Bhagyalakshmi, daughter of Sudhakar, who has studied from Chandur, Nalgonda District Social Welfare Girls Hostel. She has got GPA of 9.8 during this academic year, and she is present with us right now. And one more thing I just want to let you know, the selection criteria of this award is if more girls are getting the same GPA or same marks during that year, we are selecting a girl from poorest of the poor who is economically backward from their economical condition. We are selecting that girl. So this year we have selected Bhagyalakshmi, who is with us. I request G. Sudhir Kumar IPS Garu. I'll be displaying the certificate and I'll be displaying the DD copy also virtually. If you can present her and say
Ramu,
few words for her.
few words. Ramu, few words say about this. We are very thankful to K.R. Venugopal Garu and Lakshmi Garu and his wife. They came forward to have this type of support. The poor girls. I think K.R. Venugopal Garu always with us. His blessings and his moral support, whatever thing. He is a very, very great strength of for the CDS. I myself and on behalf of CDS, we are very fortunate this type of elder people being with us. Thank you very much to K.R. Venugopal Garu and Lakshmi Garu. Now, I think Sudhir Babu Garu will.
Good afternoon.
The
Read it out like
screen, please read it. Then
Center for Dalit Studies, Lakshmi Venugopal Award 2023. This is given to Lakshmi Venugopal Award presented to Jilla Bhagyalakshmi, daughter of Sudhakar, Regatta village, Tanigal Mandal, Nalgonda district, Telangana, for securing highest score in SSC examination held during the year 2023 among the girls of social welfare hostels in Telangana state. It is given by Sri Mallepalli Lakshmi Garu, Chairperson CDS.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request Bhagyalakshmi if she is with us.
Sir.
This is the check, sir, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Ram. Then I request to Bhagyalakshmi if she with us.
She's with us, sir. She's with us. Bhagyalakshmi.
మాట్లాడమనండి సార్ ఇంగ్లీష్ తెలుగైనా పర్లేదు.
She can talk in English also, sir. I guess.
Okay, please talk to in English. Bhagyalakshmi, please speak.
Sir, my name is Bhagyalakshmi. I am from Regatta village of Kanagal Mandal, which is located in Nalgonda district. Sir, I'm thankful to give me as a prize of 10,000 rupees on the honor of Dr. Sir S.R. Sankaran on his memorial.
It's okay, అమ్మా. తెలుగులో మాట్లాడాలనుకుంటే
తెలుగులో మాట్లాడు పర్లేదు.
పర్లేదమ్మా.
Sir, I'm very thankful for receiving the 10,000 rupees.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhagyalakshmi. Thank you very much. Now I hand over to Siddhojirao Garu to announce Aishwarya.
Thank you, sir. I would like to express my sincere thanks to Kaki Madharao Garki for giving this Lakshmi Madharao Award. Same 10,000 rupees only. And also, Madhara Garu wants to give this scholarship from Andhra Pradesh, poorest girl from SC community, and same amount, 10,000 rupees will be given. I request Sampath Garu to announce this award, sir, scholarship. And if there is anything to I would request first Madhara Garu to speak if there is anything.
No, nothing. Let Sampath announce the award.
Sir, Sampath, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So I think this is really, I was looking at this, the student, girl student from Anantapur district. Her name is Nagarajagari Aishwarya, and she is from Rolla, from Sri Sati Sai district, Anantapur, West Anantapur. So she's, in fact, I was looking at her mark sheet. In fact, she's such an impressive, she got 590 out of 600. Almost she secured 100 out of 100 in general science. And very impressive, to see and to really get inspired even by us. So and also I congratulate Bhagyalakshmi from Nalgonda. So both the districts are very backward districts, and you really made such kind of a great. And also we thank. I think this is an award actually given in the name of Lakshmi Madhavrao Garu scholarship, and for S.R. Shankaran Memorial Award. So it's so I really take this privilege to announce this award to Aishwarya, I think, who could not come because she was unwell. That I wish her all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, small announcement. Madhara Garu also would have come forward to give another scholarship that is called Kaki Manikyam and Shobhanadri Award to ST girl from Telangana.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you,
sir. But that will be on the occasion of P.S. Krishnan's
P.S. Krishnan Memorial Lecture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, Sampath Garu, and thank you, Madhara Garu, sir.
Thank you very much to all. I think we are going to end this meeting. I think I am very happy today. We have seen our leaders and lecturers and others. I think S.R. Shankaran, he gave a enormous strength. I think Madhara Garu knows very well. I think Sampath Garu also knows, Sudhir Babu also knows. In 1976, we had a Arjun conference in Hyderabad. That time, depend on the recommendations of the Arjun conference, the government issued nearly 120 GOs. In 120 GOs, I think 110 to 15, only one signature is the man S.R. Shankar. I think it's the not only record. I think never anywhere it will not be possible in future. In past also not yet possible. Future also not. That kind of person we had. Another important dimension is with us. He is very much with the untouchable. He is not only poor. He is untouchable. He is untouchable. He is not much focused on tribals also. I'm saying it is a very, but he is saying untouchability is a major issue for the country, major issue for us. That's why he believed and he did and he followed. I think thank you very much for all, particularly Narendra Kumar, Sampath Kumar, and Sudhir Babu Garu, our great leader, Madhavrao Garu, Sidhoji Rao Garu, Ramu, and our Vice Chairman, Shen Krishna, that with us, he went to Pune. I will also thank to him, Dr. Kankaraj Garu, Sunita Garu, all those who ever attended this memorial lecture. I heartful thanks to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, everybody.
Thank
Thank you to all who have participated in this discussion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.